Hi friends, this Sunday is a very important holiday. It is Mother's Day, and I always say Mother's Day is the most important holiday of the year. All right, I am a mom, so I kind of feel that way. Father's Day is also just as important, that's in June, but this Sunday in May is Mother's Day, and Mother's Day is where we honor any woman who's a mother, okay? And it might be your mom, might be your grandma, maybe your aunt, or any nice lady who's a mom. Even some of your teachers are moms. So on Sunday, let's make sure that we give special thanks to all of the nice moms out there. And I have a really lovely book I want to read to you guys in honor of Mother's Day. It's a little sad, but then it has a really sweet ending. It is called A Mama for Owen. And this is actually based on a true story. When I'm done with this book, I'm going to explain to you the true story behind it. Okay, so this is A Mama for Owen, and it is written by Marion Dane Bauer with illustrations by John Butler. Owen was a very young hippo. He lived with his mother, his father, his aunts, and his cousins in the Sabaki River in Africa. Owen loved the river, but even more, he loved his great grayish-brown, or was she brownish-gray, mama. Every day, Owen and his mama slept together, they swam together, they ate together. Even when mama left the river to graze in the moonlight, Owen followed close behind her stubby tail. Best of all, Owen loved to play hide and seek. Mama hid and Owen found her. And every time he found his mama, he licked her friendly face, laid his head on her broad back, and smiled his great pink smile. But all that was before the rain began to fall. The rain fell, and it fell, and it fell. The Sabaki River rose, and it rose, and it rose. The river ran faster and faster and faster. The river rose so high and ran so fast that it washed Owen and his mother and his father and his aunts and his cousins all the way out to sea. Owen roared for his mama, but his mama did not answer. He roared louder. No mama. He searched and searched, but his mama wasn't hiding. She was lost, and Owen was alone in the sea. He roared and roared and roared until finally he lost even his roar. Oh, it's so sad. And that was when the great wave came and washed Owen back to shore. Owen was befuddled and weak and very, very sad. He looked all around this new place. This wasn't his river. He looked around some more. Where was his mama? Then Owen saw something brownish gray. Or was it grayish brown? He wasn't sure. But he staggered over and snuggled down next to it. And the very old tortoise, whose name was Mizzy, lay very still while Owen waited for sleep to come. When Owen woke, he looked again at the tortoise. Mizzy was colored just like his mama. Mizzy was large, just like his mama. Mizzy had stayed very close when Owen needed him, just like his mama used to. Owen laid his head on Mizzy's broad back and slept some more. Now, Owen and Mizzy sleep together. They swim together. They eat together. Whenever Mizzy goes out for a walk, moonlight or sunlight, Owen follows close behind his stubby tail. Owen's favorite game is still hide and seek. Mizzy slips beneath the water and Owen plunges in to find him. Mizzy nestles in the long grass and Owen peers through the grass until he spots him. Mizzy rests behind a rock and Owen searches and searches until there is Mizzy. And whenever Mizzy takes a nap, Tucked away inside his brownish gray, or is it grayish brown shell, Owen waits and waits and waits until he can find Mizzy once more. Then when he finds Mizzy, Owen licks his friendly face, lays his head on the tortoise's broad back, and smiles his great pink smile. All right, so at the end, the author leaves a little note. The story of Owen and a giant tortoise named Mizzy, which means old man in Swahili, is a true one. Owen was rescued by the Kenya Wildlife Service and local fishermen after the hippopotamus and his family were washed down the Sabaki River by a flood, and he was brought back to shore by a tsunami wave. Owen was less than a year old. Hippopotamus calves ordinarily stay with their mothers for 4 years, and no one could find his mother, so they brought him to Haller Park, a nature preserve outside of Mombasa. There, the lonely young hippo chose Mizzy, a 130-year-old male tortoise, to be his mother. And Mizzy doesn't seem to mind one bit. All right, friends, so I know this was a very sad story. I mean, poor Owen, he got washed off to sea, loses his whole family. But then when he's rescued, this is a true story. When he was rescued, he was brought to a nature preserve where he befriended a 130-year-old tortoise. And the two of them are the closest friends. And I even have a book about them, which is called Owen and Mizzy, The True Story of a Remarkable Friendship. And this is the nonfiction version of this story. And we see, here we have real photographs of Mizzy, the 130-year-old tortoise, and Owen, who's a young hippopotamus. And this is just the story of how they, came to be such close friends, and about how they are still friends together in this wildlife preserve in Africa. So here we see at the end, Owen and his good friend Mizzy. Now, I thought this was such a nice story, especially for Mother's Day, okay? Because, a lot of us, our families might be a little different than a typical family, and that's okay. And, a family is where you feel safe and where you feel connected and close. And maybe we might not have a traditional family like everyone else, but if we're with the people that make us feel happy and safe and protected, then that's most important, okay? And I think that's really what Owen found in his new friend Mizzy, his family. Okay, so I hope you all have a wonderful Mother's Day. Remember, treat your mothers nice, they deserve it. All right, guys, have a lovely day and a lovely week.